Dividers.
The Room Dividers.
A show that doesn't just divide rooms, we also break news.
The Room Dividers.
Rob, I don't know whether you're a doctor now, you've become a specialist.
Hey, the Bokke. 11 and 11 and 11. Al die tyd 11, man.
Akho Mataliane, akho pasta, umbuso versus the pasta. Wawina umbuso namhlanje mfuthu.
Noma zinkobe mdumane.
Yo, this past weekend, crickets, Themba Bavuma, captain, leader, legend. Oh, super excited, man. Springboks did the things against Italy. My goodness, Springbok ladies. Oh, the list is endless, Marao. The list is endless.
It's another performance for the ages from this indomitable Springbok team.
Just magnificent, gutsy, hard performance from the South African team.
Safumaneni red card, and we won against Orefli again another week where a senseless decision has been taken.
Yeah, we are checking the best angle.
There's going to be another discussion here. This is disastrous for the Springboks. Second week in a row.
It's going to be a permanent red card.
Disastrous for the Springboks.
Uvu Bavuma, and his team winning in India, I think after 22 years.
Go harder, Themba. Bang, knockout.
And it seems like SA is the home of happiness. And I'm thinking of changing, and be a South African. Just kidding. Then as what team? Great choice always.
You can change and be a South African anytime. Trust me, we will welcome you with open arms as long as you do it legally.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
All right, the Room Dividers are ready. It's going to be a powerful show today because World Rugby seems to be turning its back on South Africa from a discipline perspective. Is that something we should tolerate? What's your view on it? It is Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
Let's go! The moments you remember. The games you can't forget. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.
Well, I think on a daily basis, a lot of you keep asking us, what are the chances of us being blocked from going to the World Cup in the United States of America? Because people are starting to plan now. Time is running out. And we always keep reminding here on the show that, it's very few days that are left. In fact, for the Africa Cup of Nations, it's 33 days left until the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. So as far as the FIFA World Cup is concerned, it's 205 days. So if you don't plan for this tournament, you're going to be disappointed. And we all know South Africa will be taking part in it. So the biggest questions that have been landing on our sports desk here is, if you purchase a ticket, is that going to be enough for us to gain entry? We heard what Marco Rubio said just the other day, saying that that's not going to be enough. So that forced almost a meeting between the FIFA president and the president of the United States of America. Which led to the Trump administration now launching a new initiative to fast-track the visa interviews for foreign visitors attending next year's World Cup in the U.S. It is called a FIFA Pass. So the program kind of offers expedited visa appointments to individuals who have purchased World Cup tickets through FIFA. And the initiative also aims to accommodate the expected surge in global travelers while maintaining President Donald Trump's firm stance on immigration. So, the PASS system, the acronym stands for Prioritize Appointments Scheduling System.
We're also creating what we're calling the FIFA Prioritized Appointment Scheduling System. That's a hard one for most people to remember, but it's there nevertheless. And this will allow World Cup ticket holders with long wait times to opt with FIFA for a prioritized interview. And I've directed my administration to do everything within the power to make the 2026 World Cup an unprecedented success. I think it's going to be the greatest. And we are setting records on ticket sales. Nobody's ever really, and FIFA's never, if you look at the numbers, nobody's ever seen anything like the kind of numbers we're doing. The early ticket sales are through the roof, and much of it is even sold out. So congratulations, Johnny. And he's got unbelievable spirit and personality and talent and intelligence, I always like to say, because it's all a part of it. But the job you've done is based on what's happening unprecedented. Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Gianni. That's what he calls him. The FIFA president, Gianni Infantino, says that the new initiative aimed at streamlining travel for football fans heading to the United States of America for next year's World Cup.
The FIFA Pass is being announced. The prioritized appointment scheduling system. That's the way people will remember it. So if you have a ticket for the World Cup, you can have a prioritized appointment to get your visa, because we said it the very first time we met, Mr. President, America welcomes the world. America will welcome the world here next year. We will have between 6 and 7 million tickets sold for the matches. We will have between 5 and 10 million people coming to America from all over the world to enjoy the World Cup. And with this FIFA Pass, we can make sure that those who buy a ticket that are legitimate football fans or soccer fans, they can come and attend the World Cup in the best conditions, starting from getting their visa and then coming, of course, in the country to enjoy. So thanks for the support, thanks for the great work, and always happy to be here at home, if I can say that.
You are. We are. This is a beautiful trophy right there.
Yeah.
You are. And a big part of it, too. Marco, would you say a few words?
Our advice to everybody is if you have a ticket for any of the games, you need to apply if you haven't done so as soon as possible. Don't wait till the last minute. Your ticket is not a visa. It doesn't guarantee admission to the U.S. It guarantees you an expedited appointment. You're still going to go through the same vetting. We're going to do the same vetting as anybody else would get. The only difference here is we're moving them up in the queue. We're moving them up faster. But my advice to everyone that's watching around the world is if you intend to come to the games, you have to have a ticket. You need to apply. Apply as soon as possible. You're going to get your interview within 6 to 8 weeks, and move forward from there. Don't wait till the last minute to do it.
Right, so hopefully that's a system that's going to be working for everybody. As you know, we were talking about it earlier on, a whole immigration system. And with this expanded FIFA World Cup, it's going to be massive. I mean, people are going to be traveling from all over the world. It's the biggest sport in the world, played on every blade of grass around the world. And you can imagine the interest of this expanded FIFA World Cup. So hopefully America does not make life impossible and ridiculous for all of us, because, hey, sport is what drives us. In fact, if you're South African, sport is the one thing that's making us all smile. I don't know if the room dividers make you smile, but whether they make you smile or not, the Room Dividers right here at Marawa Sports Worldwide is proudly brought to you by F&B, from grassroots to greatness, 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. Welcome to it.
Dividing public opinion.
Are they empowering?
And setting the rugby agenda.
Do not forget where your history South Africa is. The enemy's desire is to try and erase it.
Welcome. You're with the Room Dividers.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Well, there was a bit of talk about Victor Yoga sending off last week. Red, or was it a yellow and bunker red, which is the difference between a full off or 20-minute off.
Yeah, we are checking the best angle.
There's going to be another discussion here. This is disastrous for the Springboks. Second week in a row.
It's going to be a permanent red card.
Disastrous for the Springboks.
What does the game of rugby kind of become these days? I mean, is it just over-refereed? All the time, TMO. Decision, TMO.
What I can say, it's sad that our captain in his 100th game and his next game had to sacrifice. I always thought we want to get to 20-minute red cards and have a recheck on that. I thought that's the way to go. It's not my place to talk about it. But for a captain like him to twice in a week have to suffer for us to win, it's tough. I'm not saying anybody was wrong. I just thought the balance on calling the headshots was not as equal.
#MSW.
#MSW.
All right, so that's why tonight on the Room Dividers, we're going to be stepping straight into the eye of rugby's biggest storm. I mean, it's a storm that's been swirling around red cards. I mean, bunker confusion, concussion, lawsuits. There's a Springbok team that just refuses to break down, regardless of how many red cards we get. Well, it's been another week, another red card for South Africa. As the former All Black Jeff Wilson warned, saying that rugby is now in pretty much dangerous territory. Inconsistency across the weekend. I mean, there's been chaos in officiating, foul play review system. I mean, no one seems willing to use. All eyes are going to be turned on to Dublin this weekend, the game that Rassie, you and I know, he circled this game at the start of the year, Mike Greenaway. I mean, one of those ticking box exercises that are so important. And he's never won there before. So remember that. He's not won there before. The Boks have lost 4 of their last 5 to Ireland. I suppose all the big guns do return. So the stage is set. Epic doesn't quite begin to describe it. It's beyond that. I mean, World Rugby has launched the Nations Championship. I mean, it's a story that Manana was also chasing over the weekend. Another competition. What do we look forward to? Was it just a long overdue solution to global structure of the game? It's a case of North versus South. Log points. There's a final. What does it mean for sport? So that is why. Joining me tonight, the big guns on the room dividers, Thando Manana is a former SA Under-23 Springbok flank, and also Mike Greenaway, leading rugby writer, author of The Fireside Springbok. They're going to be buckling up right now. Ready to go, gentlemen. Before I red card any of you. Has World Rugby got something against us? Let's be open and honest.
Good evening, guys. Good evening, Thando. Good evening, Rob. Yeah, look, it looks that way. It looks very much that way. Look, we had Zwandile Stick saying it looks like very unfair treatment is coming the way of our players, and I absolutely agree with him. 2 red cards in 2 weeks, which really shouldn't have happened. And the fallout from this is not just paranoid South Africans. We're talking about people from New Zealand. So John Kerwin, we're talking about a legend in Jeff Wilson. We're talking about Eddie Jones, who's never been a friend of South Africans. We're talking about Matt Williams, who, I mean, he was the number 1 hater of South Africa. Everyone is saying that referees are getting it wrong. That the game is not what it should be. I mean, Thando will tell us, I mean, he's played at the highest level. You're going to play a game of rugby and there's going to be some kind of head contact. But World Rugby, and if I can just give a little bit of context here before we get more comment, there has been this issue for some time that guys have been getting head knocks, and it's been going for a couple of decades now. World Rugby, in fact, is the subject of some lawsuits because people are getting onset of dementia. And that's great that World Rugby is now coming in to say we need to do something about it. However, what we're seeing is an overcorrection because the refs are now blowing it too heavily, and the game of rugby is not as it used to be.
Sure. I think key words that you've mentioned there, Mike, and Thando, would love your comment on that, the overcorrection by World Rugby in response to these concussion lawsuits. What was wrong with the handling of the Franco Mostert incident overall? I mean, wasn't the bunker system used there?
Rob, first and foremost, good evening to you. I'm worried that you are carrying cards. I don't know. You keep on threatening us, and I don't like that. I want to be free when I come to your house. But the most important thing, evening, Miko, is we all understand the tackle situation. We all understand why it's got to be this strict. Player safety is paramount. We don't want a player to be a cabbage for the rest of their life because of really silly judgments from the players. We also do understand that if anything is close to the head, it's considered dangerous and illegal. It's punishable. But Rob, why do you bring in a system where you're saying things must go to the bunker? You take out the yellow, you do the cross and saying it's going upstairs. You then return back to the captain to say it's been elevated to the red card or it stays a yellow card. That has not been done in both games. The gentlemen in the middle of the field convene, they come together, they discuss, they ask for all angles. They want it at normal pace, they want it at slow pace. They look at each other, they disagree with each other. But the main guy who's got everything in front of him, who can look at laws and all of that, whilst the game is happening, Rob, is a TMO. I find it very, in fact, I was perplexed that they didn't even give it an opportunity on this one. I would understand the Luot one, probabilities and all of that. Fine, we accepted that. But definitely not this one, Rob. Because he's also missed 2 tackles on Pollard and Sia. He missed 2 high tackles from the Italians on both of those players. Yet he didn't even, be convening and also saying it's an immediate. Doesn't matter. So my issue is everyone has a right to be frustrated, Rob. But I'm of the view is that why do we have a Jaco paper there? Do we have him for post games to send videos and have a nice write-up to the refereeing society? He's no longer the ref. He should actually be the one who was sitting where Stick was sitting, because Mzwandile Stick is a coach. And the coach are very emotional human beings, especially if they lose. Luckily, we won on that game. But what I'm saying is, why is Jaco Paper going to be part of a Springbok setup and not be the man? Because he's not going to be ever employed by World Rugby, but he's going to share his experience because he's been in the middle of the field. He knows what it is to blow under pressure, to blow, to be objective when you blow the whistle. And I just get a sense he's going to be more onto because we want to learn. We want to understand his thinking because he's there with the coaches.
So pre the game, you would want him to step in because we all know now there's a lack of consistency when it comes to the application of the very same laws and rules of the game. It doesn't apply equitably with everybody else. But come the box, one mistake, and they're being sanctioned.
And I just want to bring in something here, a little bit of a curveball here. So the referees, the TMOs, they're a unit. The ref on the field says, okay, it looks like there has been head contact. Now, what I've found that this ref unit, they never ever overturn each other. Whatever the one guy says, they all say, yeah, I agree. They don't seem to have, I don't know what the polite word is.
Maybe the independence of mind to also just disagree. In the same way that we would love both of you guys to disagree, and you do that a lot on the show, because it also grows our understanding and knowledge of the game and what you're trying to circumvent as well.
Rob, the game is made so much easier.
But it's been made more difficult now.
Why you excite us as rugby followers of the new rule of the red card is no longer you get out and you are sort of put in that predicament, disadvantaged predicament of playing with 14 men because you just suffered 20 minutes. That has been the ploy when this bunker system came into being, into the red card. Okay? If you remember the 2023 final, the All Blacks captain getting a yellow card in a bunker, turns out to be red. They play with 14 men up until the end of... Then they changed that.
It also takes away the quality, guys. Keep those thoughts in your mind. I know that,
I'm not
Mike,
finished yet.
You wanted to respond. We have a business to run here, Mr. Manana. It's called Commercial Radio, and you're part of it. Thank you very much.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time.
#MSW. It's Black Friday all November, only at KFC. Get 50% off the Family Fiesta deal with 6 pieces of original recipe chicken, 4 zinger wings, 2 regular mash and gravy, 1 large chips, plus 4 small drinks for only $159.90. Saving you 79 Rand this month only. Don't wait. Grab yours in-store or on the app today. KFC, it's finger-licking good. T's and C's apply.
It's dawn and the alpha pet parent begins its daily ritual. Walking in rain, removing fur from furniture, and speaking to their pet in an inexplicably high-pitched tone. They perform their pet's seasonal pest protection ritual, which lasts until autumn.
For over 10 years, South African pet parent alphas have trusted Brevecto for 12 weeks of tick and flea protection in just 1 dose. Sign up for Brave Protect, a free pet accident benefit when you buy Brevecto. Brevecto, long-lasting tick, flea, and now accident protection. Visit brevecto.co.za. T's and C's apply.
At Chamberlain's, there's something for everyone.
From building supplies for the home renovators to garden essentials for the homemakers. From power tools for the DIY doers to painting supplies for the patio Picassos. We even have coffee for the slightly sleepy and snacks for the young ones. And for the ones who can never quite find what they're looking for, we have you covered too, with our promise to find and source whatever you need. Chamberlain's, famous for hardware since 1903.
Click season is different from any other ho. Oh? Yes, here's why. Mix and match any 3 festive gifts with a purple sticker.
Oh.
And get the lowest one free.
Oh.
With the famous Clicks Purple Sticker promotion, it's only at Clicks. Feel good, pay less. Deals valid until 24 December or while stocks last. T's and C's apply.
Every night the tension builds. Will they take the deal or risk it all? Stay locked to Deal or No Deal. Weeknights at 6:30 p.m. on SABC2. Life-changing prizes are just one choice away. Fortune favors the bold. Will you deal? Brought to you by Lotto Star.
Lotto Stars, licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18s. National Responsible Gambling Program. 0800 006 008. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events.
A simple recharge sounds like this. But when you top up with a Telkom WhatsApp bundle this summer, it could sound like this.
It's 30 degrees today. The perfect day for a bride. You've arrived at your destination.
Summer's better in and outside the group chat with Telkom. Get a monthly 1 gig WhatsApp bundle with voice and video calling for 30 Rand. Get a Telkom SIM. Dial star 180 hash to opt in and tap to win your share of 400 million Rand in prizes, including one of 5 Toyota Starlets when you recharge with 25 Rand or more. T's and C's apply. Telkom. Possible begins here.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
And they've taken it. And the South Africans, cock a hoop, have beaten India.
Very authoritative, and she's South Africa's official correspondent for ESPN Cricket Info, Fidoz Munda. I mean, she joins me to explore this journey, the leadership, the legacy in motion, and also the man reshaping Proteas cricket one test at a time. That is Temba Bavuma.
What Temba Bavuma did in surviving to score 55, no other player even got to 40, was remarkable. And then the way South Africa's bowlers performed, I mean, to see a bowler that hasn't been part of the setup in Simon Harmer come and take the best figures by a South African spinner in India was fabulous. To see Marco Jansen perform in the absence of Kagiso Rabada, really take advantage of that very uncertain bounce was also great.
Go harder, Temba. Bang, knockout.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
Ready for it.
The scrums collapse. The tackles hit like thunder.
That is sensational rugby.
And the tries, they light up the scoreboard.
So impressive. It really is.
With Robert Marawa on Room Dividers.
Iconic Room Dividers.
On Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Very silly comment.
Planning that dream trip?
Right, as we celebrate the power of sport and also the pride of the nation, FNB proudly backs the Springboks, driving transformation in South African rugby from grassroots to greatness. From the players and coaches to schools and clubs, FNB is inspiring future generations in green and gold as a proud partner of the Springboks.
The scrums collapse. The tackles hit like thunder.
That is sensational rugby.
And the tries, they light up the scoreboard.
So impressive. It really is.
With Robert Marawa on Room Dividers.
Iconic Room Dividers.
On Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Very silly comment.
All right, so that's where we are. FNB help changes everything. Welcome to it.
The Room Dividers. You all know Johan Rassie Erasmus as a player and as a coach. Even after we got a permanent red card, the Springboks won convincingly. I would love to know from you, what makes Rassie tick? What is it that he says to his players? Because he's the captain of that ship. There is something very special about him. I don't know what it is. Does he have a magic wand or what? Today, the Springboks are the best in the world. I don't care who says what.
All right, the Boks are the best in the world. I love that. Thank you so much, Jericho. And while we talk about that hot topic there before the break itself, I mean, Rassie, Siyakolisi, they've had a lot to say about it as well.
No, I mean, we went through it last weekend, and this week again, we're going through the same thing. So we make plans in the game as we go, because we know things happen. I mean, the biggest thing that we've been asked this week is to show our South Africanness, and that's making plans along the way, and there's always stumbles along the way, and that's what I'm grateful for with our coaching staff. You know, they always prepare for any scenario, and the way the guys they buy in, and the guys that are not playing, when then it happens, they sitting making plans, and they come into Coach Rassie, and they come and make decisions, but it doesn't make it easy on us. You know, I know we can talk about like sacrificing for the team. It's not easy. It's not easy to, you know, for a guy like Sos who's sitting there, we can see the hurt in his eyes, you know, and but yeah, I really love the way this team is just able to stand up and fight, and we always say, like, whatever happens in those 4 lines, we can still go as hard as we can and can control what we can control there.
All right, so Siyakolisi there, the Springbok captain, on his reaction to what's been going on. He says they're made to be strong. I know, Mike, you wanted to pop in after Tando's comment. And I think your approach is more a holistic one. To say, guys, what does this mean for the Boks? How does it grow us? Does it hurt us? What does it do?
Yeah. Just a quick word, because I wanted to get this. And I mean, Paolo Garbisi gets that apparent head knock from Franco Mossad. The referee says this is head on head. So this is why Mossad has to go off. So why then does Garbisi not go off for a head impact assessment? That immediately tells me there's a major inconsistency. But moving on to the topic at hand now. Look, okay, so that was the 11th minute. And I just want to say to the listeners, said the Boks are fantastic, how they responded. I mean, Rassie Erasmus from the 11th minute, I mean, he's like... he's directing traffic at a busy Joburg intersection when the lights are out. I mean, you on, you off. You moving to this position, you moving to that position. You're going to be at centre on attack. You're going to be at flank when we on the set scrums. There was so much happening there with the Springboks, and they are so organised. They are so together. They settle down. And Andre Pollard at fly half. I mean, it was like, okay, we're running out of petrol here. The fuel light's on in the car. Let's just scale down on the revs. Let's just idle here for a bit. And they did that until they settled down, and then they got into that third quarter, and fourth quarter rather, and they just accelerated and just took the game away. So that is the quality of the Springbok team right now.
All right, let me get a player's perspective here, Tando. As you know, some of the reasons why we've stepped forward and said, okay, the players are complaining about the onset of dementia from too many head knocks and MND, as it would be said. While it's great, though, that the governing body is trying to make the game a little bit safer, they have overcorrected, as we've mentioned. I go back to Eddie Jones as well. I mean, the comment that he said of Franco Mostad's red card, saying that was completely absurd. He did nothing wrong. I might have been shocked by the comment from him to us, which is a positive one. But from a player perspective, is there a point of safeguarding long-term one's health to see rugby where it is now as far as these actions that are being taken?
Rob, you can't be accurate with that scenario because it's a physical sport. Anything can happen. I mean, for example, you've got forwards going on against backline players. You've got a big prop against a scrum half who's trying to go on the first channel or around the ruck and so forth. World Rugby is trying its best, Rob, but I just feel that they're not using the technology correctly. Thomas Ramos, for example, with what Mike has said, also didn't go for an HIA when Lewitt went for the head tackle. So this is now, it's a consistent thread from them. Is there something that we as bystanders or listeners are missing out on the latest rules that have been out, which I don't think there is? It's just the inconsistency. Remember, South Africa were known back in the days as a bad team a dirty team. We created that. There was that type of scenario around the Springboks. And we've built to what Sia has said about a South African always make a plan.
The South African way.
The South African way, that they always make a plan as they go forward. Because they want to still abide by the rules, because the game has laws, Rob. It has rules. We are the number one team in the world. We want to be exemplary. We know that we are mentors of so many that want to play for the Boks and aspire. But let me bring this in, Rob. Rassie, when he selected this end of the year tour, little did we know, with him selecting so many lock forwards, that would have lost 2 lock forwards to date. Yeah. That is Luet. That is Luet. And that is a Sauce. But listen to this. We're coming up against an Irish team. Let me tell you who's available. You've got Jean Klein. You've got Eben Etzebeth. You've got Ruan Nortje. You've got Argie Snyman. You've got Peter Steff who can jump for you. We're sitting in a good space. Because those 2 red cards have not put us in a disadvantaged situation at all. Therefore, we've got to look at what happens. Because I tell you why, Rob, is that Rassie then again, since 15 or over 15 years, is going to get an opportunity to also play Ireland in Dublin, because he hasn't played Ireland as the head coach. He was there when Jack Nidaba lost 1916. He was the director of rugby. Alistair could say got 38-3, Rob.
Sure.
Heineke Meyer got his own beating. That's the record in Dublin.
Doesn't look good for South Africa.
Doesn't look good, but the Messiah, as they call him, or the doctor, or whatever you want to call him, former player, now coach, he's going there to have his own battle. And this is a man that this tour selected the most locks on tour, and he's got 4 available. That's brilliance coaching.
I mean, that is a point. Again, Mike, I know that it raised your eye just now to say...
And yours. It raised also yours. It raised yours.
But it's about you. You the room dividers.
Yeah.
I'm the referee.
Okay, so what I want to say here is Rassie will actually be secretly pleased that he's had these adverse moments in this tour.
Yeah.
He has said... that he's treating this 5-week tour as a mini World Cup. He's treating it as a kind of early dress rehearsal for what's going to happen in Australia in 2 years' time. He has said it's a 5-week a tour, which is akin to like the pool games that you play in a World Cup. He said that he's got a 33-man squad and he's going to deal with issues that arise within by using the players within that squad. He's not going to call up guys. So he is now looking at this and saying, we have been thrown some serious curveballs here, and this team has dealt with them, and we've got quite a lot of younger players coming in as well who are now learning about adversity and how the team has to adapt and has to make plans and has to work out how to find a way to win. So the ironic thing is, like South Africans, I mean, and we've seen all the memes on social media about how wronged we are. But the irony is that the Springboks will end this tour stronger because of what has happened.
The adversity. All right, 060-708-0484, 060-708-0484. Otherwise, you can call us directly in studio, 011-888-947.
Good day, Budroberito. You know, I'm a soccer referee. I don't know much about rugby, but I'm trying to think about the laws in the rugby. Every time it's South Africa these days, these past 2 games, South Africa committed a foul. It's a red card. I think now they try to chop and change the rules to disadvantage Springboks. I don't understand. I'm not happy with the first red card we received last of last week, then this week again. I merely don't understand. Yes, I'm a soccer referee. Maybe I don't understand the rugby, but I can tell when it's a foul. I know when the referee, because since I've been watching the game, keep on watching the game, I could tell when the referee is about to blow the whistle, Rob. No, you can't use that blue. Thank you, Rob. This is Nkosimono Makala, Cape Town.
Hey, Nkosi, thank you so much indeed. We appreciate all referees' views of football, hockey, you name it. And I think it all just centralizes the importance of the man in the middle and what his duty is. And I want to start hedging towards this coming weekend. Also want to touch on something that, Manana, you were tracking over the weekend, the Nations Championship, but maybe to spearhead the conversation slightly towards what's the thinking within the players, within the camp. You've mentioned Eben Etzebeth being available, saying that facing, Ireland on Saturday is a nice opportunity to try to change the fortunes in Dublin, where the Springboks last won a test game. You go back to 2012, and since then the Boks suffered 3 defeats at the Irish rugby team. And also 2014, 2017, 2022, it didn't work out nicely for South Africa.
I think obviously a great team. I think they've been on top of the world rankings, if I say on top, in the top 3 for the last couple of years. So quality side, and looking forward to this game. Obviously, when we got the calendar at the start of the year, was definitely one of the fixtures that stood out. So we're excited for this weekend. It's going to be a good clash. No, I wouldn't say so. I think, like I said, it's a completely different challenge. We're playing in Ireland against them. That was more than a year and a half ago. We've seen a lot can happen in rugby in 1 week, so I think a lot of change since that game. But like I said, it's a very exciting camp, and we're looking forward to it. Great test match. I think it was something like a record score. So well done to Ireland. I think they played a real good game.
All right, we'll get to that as well after the break. Manana, a quick one. Nations Championship. A lot of people saying North versus South. You sounded excited over the weekend. Why?
Yeah, because the reality, Rob, has sunk in that we won't be joining the Six Nations anytime sooner. That's one. But we do get an opportunity to play against all 6 of them. So in retrospect, it's a deja vu moment. We get to play them. But we play them on 2 folds. One is the incoming tour. That's July. Normally you'd have a Tier 1 team coming to play 2 test match with a Tier 2, then finishing off that 3rd test window. So that will go to England, Scotland, Wales. And then the end of the year tour will happen as it happens now, where we get a chance to play Italy, we play against French, and then we play against an Irish team. So therefore, post that, the top of those will play us in a final, or will play whoever finishes top on from the south or from the north in the final. So that's the new competition. Notwithstanding that, the New Zealand greatest rivalry against the Springboks will go ahead in the middle in the rugby champs era. So many people thought it sort of would give that opportunity to Australia, Argentina to again play the rugby champs. Then it's not. They've got to find their own test matches during that time when we play the greatest rivalry. But I think it's a good competition. And also, I think now the monkey's off our backs, where we don't have to be part of a Six Nation. Remember, we wanted to even move the rugby champs into that Six Nations window period. I don't think there's a need.
And because you don't like the English much, you believe that they're arrogant. You believe that now they think come July next year they're going to have their own.
You are alleging, by the way.
No.
I would have loved you to saying allegedly so.
No.
You are determined that I've said that.
You have. Please,
Rob,
determinedly
you always, that. I'm disputing it.
You don't think they're arrogant?
I don't know that you because you are wearing black, you think you're in court.
No, you are wearing Eskimo clothes. I think your mind's frozen.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live at the same time. #MSW.
Planning that dream trip? Bank on better travel with Capitex debit and credit cards. Heading overseas? Pay 0 conversion or tap fees, so your rands go further. And if you haven't booked your flights yet, get up to 10% off on Qatar Airways with our Live Better rewards. Because better travel means no extra fees. Capitec is an authorized credit provider, FSP 46669 NCR CP13. Initiation, service fees and conditions apply.
We get told to wait for things. Wait for the right moment. Wait for a rainy day. Wait till the cows come home. Cows? Really? Well, the waiting is over because the Decofern Furniture Black Friday Super Sale is now on, and with 15 to 40% and more off everything for the whole of November.
What are you waiting for?
The Decofern Black Friday Super Sale, now on, in-store or at decofernsa.co.za.
Redefine your style and master every shot with the all-new Huawei Nova 14 series. Freeze every motion in its tracks with ultra-speed, snapshot and vivid, true-to-life color. Capture your best side with AI Best Expression, AI Removal and other smart features that make every snap effortless. Get yours now from just 499 Rand over 36 months or from 12,999 Rand at selected retailers and receive promotional gifts worth 6,794 Rand. T's and C's apply.
Wait, BioPlus has energy drinks? And get this, they're giving you a chance to drive away in a brand new Suzuki Jimny. Plus, grab your share of 100,000 Rand in instant prizes. Every can brings you closer to winning. Whether you're beach-bound or road tripping with your crew, BioPlus energy drinks give you the energy to own your plus. Sip, enter, win. Own your plus and make your summer epic with BioPlus energy drinks. T's and C's apply.
Get ready for the burger that bites back. Introducing the Ham Burner. Double the beef, triple the trouble, stacked with heartburn, dripping with indigestion, and topped off with a fiery hit of excess acid. Luckily, there's once a day A Vogel Multiforce, packed with alkaline minerals and ISCH22 that balance excess stomach acid. Because your food shouldn't bite back. Multiforce, your once a day force against excess acidity.
You are not dreaming. You are repeating. Insurance, pineapple. Insurance, pineapple. Insurance, pineapple. Insurance, pineapple. Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
And they've taken it. And the South Africans, Cock-a-hoop, have beaten India.
And she's South Africa's official correspondent for ESPN Cricket Info. For those wonder, nobody achieving, test runs of 10, let's say 10 test wins as captain quicker than Themba Bavuma in 148 years, because it took a little bit for me to swallow that in the 148-year history of the game itself. Now, where do we begin to unwrap this greatness, the unbeaten in his 11 tests as a skipper? But it's the rise and rise of Themba right now.
Yeah, I think some people really thrive under responsibility, and it's definitely what's happened with Themba's batting. Spent his entire career, really, and it's almost 11 years now, fighting and trying to prove that he's good enough, and that I don't think he needs to fight that anymore. I think he can play with a bit more freedom.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
They have completely embarrassed the All Blacks.
From match analysis and injury updates, sometimes you've got to take one step back to take two steps forward.
To bold predictions.
Why are you asking prediction? Why don't you start with predictions?
Nothing is offside.
You like a sangoma to me, pa.
How? Tell me.
Nothing is off the table. With Robert Marawa on Room Dividers on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
All right, it is the Room Dividers. If you're just joining us, you've joined us pretty late, but it's not too late for you to be part of the conversation. I see calls are lining up. I see your voice notes. And before we give Mike an opportunity to respond in the Nations Championship as well, let's get straight to the voice notes.
Hi, Rob. Good evening to yourself and good evening to your guest and to the MSW shareholders. Speaking to Rihanna in the Western Cape. Just talking about the coming game against Ireland, it will be a tough one. However, Springboks and Orlando Pirates are same WhatsApp group, Whoever plays on the day, is an equal replacement, So whoever's on the bench will be an impact player. I think it will be a close one, but I don't think the Boks will lose it. They will win this one. Thanks, bye.
Thank you so much indeed. Hey, don't suffocate us next time, boss.
Good evening, Mr. Marawa, and good evening to the Room Dividers. Mr. Marawa, I just want to compliment our coach, Rasi Erasmus. I think he's doing a very, very good job for our Springboks. The integration of new players to the team, you can see that the man has got the plan, and I was very happy with their performance over the weekend. Thank you, Mr. Marawa. Good show as always.
Evening, Tarop.
This weekend will be one of the toughest games that we've played this November. I feel that it will be even tougher than the game that we played against France. In order for us to win, there are two areas that I think that we need to dominate in, which is going to be the breakdown both on attack and defense, and with our aerial kicking game as well. We'll need to be accurate and precise, and there'll need to be a lot of precision in terms of both of those areas of our game, due to the fact that Ireland is a multi-phase attack team. We'll really need to be on point there. The other issue is as well around team selection. Who are we going to pick at lock, since Argees Neyman is having his 50th test? For me, I would put him on the bench and start with Eben and Ruan Norkia. And in terms of the centers, there are some that are saying that they would want our outside center to be Kenan Moody because of his height and his aerial prowess. But for me, I think for this game, we need a 13 who's going to be very solid on defense. So I would go with Jesse Creel there. And I know that Bongi just came back now, but I would put him on the bench as a 16. So those are my changes, Taro. But I think that we should be able to do this and win this game as well.
Thank you so much. A very sober analysis there coming through. We'll take more of your comments. We'll be with you in a second. Let me take Mike and his comments, both on the Nations Championship and maybe a little bit of speculation ahead as far as who's going to play.
Yeah, just a prelude to the Nations Championship. We're talking about England, which is one of the teams, folks, that South Africa will play next year in June in the Nations Championship. They play England, they play Scotland, and they play Wales. Interesting comments about whether England are getting a little bit ahead of themselves. They had a big win against New Zealand, and well done to them for that. Their press is now building up to be the world beaters.
It's England, Mike. It's England. Come on.
Sorry.
Hey.
England are saying that
I'm just saying that, England, it's always coming home. It's coming home at some point, regardless of the...
And look, I mean, their arrogance was just summed up. I mean, there's a bit of a controversy about Henry Pollock, their young buck who's coming through, the guy with the peroxided hair. He's licking his lips during the haka. Look, he is a good player, and now their press are saying, wow, we wish we could be playing the Springboks in the sort of curtain call of the November series. And I wonder if there are a few Springboks who are thinking, yeah, we wouldn't mind playing England too, and I wouldn't mind Henry Pollock running round a blindside alley straight into Peter Steph du Toit and Jasper Wiese to wipe that smile off his face.
Oh, man, what an analysis for you in the Eastern Cape. Do you agree with that? Good evening. Welcome to the show.
I just want to talk first about the World Rugby nominees, and Sasha Fenberg Ngomezulu is not there.
Yeah.
So I wonder, what's the reason? I think, anyways, this one, Ox is going to take it. And another thing that I want to say, Ethan Ross hasn't been selected. I think, what's the problem? So I wish Pa Tando Manana can tell me what's the problem. Why Ethan Ross is not selected on the team? What's the problem? Thank you. That's what I wanted to say.
All right, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it coming through from the Eastern Cape. Mr. Manana, Ethan Ross, any comments about that?
Rob, Ethan Ross, it's been said that there's no bad blood between him and Rassie. I think just Rassie doesn't really think that he's ready to be part of the mix. He's a good player. We know what he does with the Stormers as a number 8. He's been given those opportunities. If you remember, he played against Spain in Bloemfontein, and the wheels fell off there, and he just didn't have it for him at that stage, and was overtaken by a series of number 8, Hanekom, being one of them, Jasper Wiese, and then you had Elrich Low. And when we had those big injuries, one would have thought that, and with the red card that Wiese got against Italy, one would really have thought that he would step up in the mix. Instead, I think Rassie just stuck to his guns and says, listen, he still feels that he's still got a lot of work-ons. I think he knows what his work-ons are, and I think he's just got to play the game. Unfortunately, Rob, it has happened to many players before. Cheslin Colby was deemed not to be the best winger or fullback, and the best position would be scrum half. And he kept on playing. He went and played overseas up until he got the opportunity. And all of a sudden now, he's one of the first players to be in the team. So we've got to understand coaches have preference. And Rassie just doesn't prefer Roos as his player there. I mean, same thing as Pepsi Buthelezi. He's been part of the squad of the Springboks, and all of a sudden he's no longer in the mix. So players come and go. And I think what Rassie is looking for, he knows what he wants and the type of number 8 that he wants. And he's shown that he wants someone like a Cobus Wiese, not a Cobus, Jasper Wiese into that position. But also you've got Cameron Honeycomb coming up. So I think he's lined those number 8s as his go-to number 8s. And I mean, that's just rugby. It's unfair, but at the end, Rassie makes those calls.
Just a quick add-on to that is that Evan Roos is on standby for this tour. So he's hardly out the picture, just as Thando has said. He's just not quite there in the pecking order, but he is there in the picture.
All right, certainly in the picture. Maybe, guys, a couple of points so that some of the voice notes touched on that I want to go back to. I think one of them emphasized that we need to be alert as far as the breakdowns are concerned. There was a mention of the aerial kicking game. We've seen how crucial, just creative kicking is from a drop goal perspective, and England showed that over the weekend. Do we have that in our arsenals? That's something that we can do and conjure up. You talked about Ireland. It says it's a multi-phase attack team. What do we have to counter that? So maybe just a quick wrap on those couple of pointers.
Yeah, look, so Ireland, as Eben Etzebeth said earlier on that audio note that we had, this has been the game that the Springboks have been looking forward to the whole year. And I know Eben was trying to be quite diplomatic and saying it's just another game, but it is not just another game. The Springboks want to tick this box. They haven't won in Dublin under Rassie Erasmus. They've lost 4 of their 5 last games against Ireland. They are going to return with their strongest possible team. Obviously, they had 11 guys resting from that Italy game. We're going to see Sasha Feinberg and Gomezulu there running the show again. Marnie on the bench. Andre Pollard had a good game, but these two are going to run the show, and the drop goals are in Sasha's arsenal. Guys, this is going to be the strongest possible Springbok team against Ireland. They want to win this game more than any other this year, and I think they will.
Good evening, Darob. Good evening to MSW shareholders. Darob, the jabs that you take at bar. This is going to force Mike Greenaway to do 100 push-ups every day without fail in order to be able to mediate between you and Umnumzana Manana. But we love them. We love it. We love the room dividers. Thanks, Darob. Great show as always.
Highly appreciated, man. Mike, 100 push-ups. I'm not sure if an ambulance is ready for that kind of pressure. But somebody mentioned the issue of, World Rugby. The nominees are out. World Rugby Men's 15's Player of the Year. I think the lament there, Thando Manana, was about Sasha Feinberg and Gomezulu being left out. So maybe for the uninitiated, let me just give you a breakdown. There's 3 South Africans there for that award. Malcolm Marx, Arts and Chair, Peter Steph de Toy, and then there's Louis Bell Biarri that's also been included from a French national team perspective. What do you make of it?
Yes, Rob. I feel for Ox and Chair. There's never been a nominee that plays his position, whether tight head or loose head. Never. There's been a Keith Wood. Mike can go to the library and search this. 1991, Keith Wood, Irish hooker. But never a loose head and a tight head. Never. And he was even unfortunate last year, Rob. Yep. He played his best rugby and he was never even on the nominees list. He gets onto the nominees list and he's injured just after Japan. Imagine if he had played against the French team, who would have rested against Italy. I think he's done enough for me, Rob. I don't think... in fact, very close is Malcolm Marx, I have to say. Although Malcolm Marx also, Rob, first half of international was nowhere. You look at that loss against Eden Park, he was nowhere, and he sort of came back to himself, to what he does now. That's what a great player does. Is he wipes himself off and moves on again. That's what he's done. Peter Steff as well wasn't that great. So I think I don't know. I see Victor Matfield was one of the panelists. Kieran Reid, So I don't know. We are predominantly forwards. Panelists. So I think it will be between Marks and Ox. I still think Ox for me, and I think also for Sasha. Unfortunate, but also came to his own in that Wellington test to date. So I think not a lot of tests under his belt that could have really given him that nod. He was there last year as a nominee for breakthrough of the year, but that went to Satiti, the All Black, and it's good to see Ethan Hooker from the Sharks, Miko, being part of that breakthrough of the year. But I have to say one thing. If I looked at that and I looked at this Pollock boy, one thing, Rob, that you can't fault him, his conditioning is absolutely insane. His stats, Rob, and he just brings more to the game. He brings more to a different audience. He's just got that aura about him to attract more people, especially in the Northern Hemisphere, just to be more involved in the game. It's good to see that we still have those type of players. We did have in Bobby Skinstead with the tongue and everything there. But for me, I'm quite happy with the selection. So if you ask me, I'll go Ox. I'll stick with Ox. I think
as the outright winner.
As the outright winner and becoming the first prop to ever win the award. That would be history in the making.
Put a full stop on that. Mike, who's your winner in that category?
Yeah, okay. Look, Ox, imagine the size of the cake they'll have to bring in when he when he gets that. Just a quick word, guys. Whoever wins it, I just want to say Peter Steff du Toit, nominated again. He's won World Rugby Player of the Year twice in a row, nominated another 2 times. Wow. Is he our greatest Springbok?
Oh, man. I mean, Peter Steff du Toit. It's exciting, guys. I think we're in an exciting space. It could have been 4 nominees coming through from South Africa.
We haven't spoken about the team. We haven't spoken about the team.
Speak about it next week.
We are playing Ireland, Rob.
Yeah, but we've been speaking about it the whole... Have you just woken up?
I've asked you to ask Mike, what is his starting 15? Not prediction. I asked early. Okay. Don't ask prediction.
So ask him.
Ask him. You're the man in charge.
No, you wanting me to
Miko,
ask.
who's your starting 15, please?
Thank you very much. Miko, you got no time, but this chance taker is trying his luck.
No, you're protecting Mike all the time.
I have to. He's my guest. Very esteemed guest. He's not going to be exposed to abuse from you, Mr. Manana. Not today, not tomorrow, not next week.
You're killing time because you don't want him to give you a starting, and the listeners.
Time is
killed,
listeners
boss. Want that. We don't want to wait for Thursday at 12:30 for the team.
Time is killed. Have you got a starting 15?
Of course, I've always had it since Saturday.
Wrap it in 10 seconds.
Steenkamp, Marks, Thomas du Toit, Eben, Ruan, Sia, Peter Steff, Jasper, Reinach, Sasha, the 2 wings, Colby, Kirtley, Dialinde, Jesse, because he's solid and he's had the experience.
Don't give us
And at
reasons.
the bank, no, at Amas, just for the caller. I'm also treating the stakeholders.
But
I'm also sharing with and Damien
time.
Willems at the back. Are you happy?
You should have just said you wanted to give us the starting 15 and not use Mike as a decoy of that. You can tune in again next Tuesday.
I know what
for
he
the
always
Room
brings you
Dividers
something here.
On
He always
Marawa
brings
Sports
you something.
Worldwide. Brought to you by FNB. Grassroots to greatness on 947 Rise FM as well as Sowetan Live. We have to switch these mics off, otherwise we'll never get
Rob, it's
to the
only
end of the
7
show.
o'clock. It's 19:00. Look at that.
Yeah, some professionals are waiting to take over their shows right now. If you want to be on the other side of professionalism, sir, please.
I was here at 16:10.
Yeah, you're not used to that. Tune in again tomorrow for Marawa Sports Worldwide. Proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets. Enjoy it, guys.
The thrill, the drama,